The Battle of Karansebes in 1788 is often remembered as one of the most absurd military blunders in history. It took place during the Austro-Turkish War, 1787–1791, in which the Habsburg Austrian Empire was fighting against the Ottoman Empire to push them out of southeastern Europe. The Austrian army, a massive force of around 100,000 soldiers, was made up of troops from different parts of the empire, including Germans, Austrians, Czechs, Hungarians, Italians, Croats, Serbs, Poles, and Romanians. The army's diverse composition made communication difficult, which would soon play a key role in the disaster that unfolded. On the night of September 17, 1788, a unit of Austrian hussars was sent ahead to scout for Ottoman forces near the town of Karansebes, now Karansebes, Romania. Instead of finding the enemy, they stumbled upon a group of local gypsies who were selling alcohol. The hussars eagerly bought barrels of schnapps and began drinking, enjoying themselves without any thought of an impending battle. Soon after, a group of Austrian infantrymen arrived at the scene and demanded to share the alcohol, but the already drunk and possessive hussars refused. A heated argument broke out, tensions rose, and in the confusion, a shot was fired. No one knows exactly whether it was a warning shot or an accident, but in the drunken chaos, someone shouted, "Turks! Turks!" triggering widespread panic. Believing they were under attack, the hussars jumped onto their horses and rode back to the main Austrian camp, screaming warnings about an incoming Ottoman assault. Their panicked retreat only made things worse. The other Austrian units, startled by the sudden commotion and unable to clearly see what was happening in the darkness, mistook their own cavalry for an advancing enemy force. In the chaos, Austrian artillery opened fire on their own soldiers, thinking they were repelling an Ottoman attack. The disorder spread like wildfire. Officers tried to regain control, but since the army was made up of so many different nationalities, many soldiers could not understand commands given in other languages. The confusion deepened when some troops mistook German words for Turkish battle cries, reinforcing the idea that the enemy was already inside their camp. At this point, the situation spiraled completely out of control. Entire regiments began shooting at each other, cavalry units clashed with infantry, and soldiers ran in every direction, convinced that the camp had been overrun by the Ottomans. Even Emperor Joseph II, who was personally leading the campaign, was caught in the chaos and was reportedly thrown from his horse while trying to restore order. By the time dawn broke, the battlefield was strewn with dead and wounded Austrian soldiers, without a single Ottoman soldier having arrived. 2 days later, the actual Ottoman army finally reached Karansebes. Instead of having to fight a well-organized Austrian force, they found a scene of utter devastation, with corpses, wounded soldiers, abandoned weapons, and scattered supplies. They easily took control of the area without facing any resistance. While the exact number of casualties is unknown, some estimates suggest that up to 10,000 Austrian soldiers were either killed, wounded, or missing, all due to friendly fire and mass panic. The Battle of Karansebes has since become a legendary example of military miscommunication, the dangers of alcohol in war, and how fear can cause an army to destroy itself before ever meeting the enemy. Though some details have been exaggerated over time, historical records confirm that some version of this bizarre disaster did happen, making it one of the most ridiculous and tragicomic events in military history.